Well, hi guys, welcome back. Ray Henderson here. Not even calling it Ray's Create Cards anymore since I'm not with Stampin' Up. And it took a hot minute for that to kind of sink in. Yeah, well, some of us are a little slow. So, I had not ordered from Divinity Designs in a long time. Because I had ordered so much over time, but I found that I was getting really low in Christmas sentiments. Went to their website, and guys, you gotta go check them out. They have stepped up their game like you would not believe. So, where was my packaging? Because I had saved that. Oh, I don't see it. Came in, oh, maybe this is it. Nope. Alright, it came in a beautiful padded floral mailing envelope. I opened it up. Everything was tissue wrapped. And there was this, which I thought was so cute. I'll give this away to the kids at church, but I will keep this little gift bag for another purpose. I thought that was awesome. And do you see? Do you see? Look at this. Divinity Design 6-inch ruler. Nice and sturdy. It's extremely light. So I'm guessing it's made out of balsam, possibly. But y'all won't have to watch me use that other ancient plastic ruler that I've always had. Hey, it worked. Sweet little note in there for a thank you. And look at this free gift. Ah, I have a banner die. Oh, I know there'll be a lot of things that will fit in there. I just thought that was awesome. Oh yeah, there's my invoice. So this is one of the things I ordered, and I love this set. And guess what? All of their stamps used to be a purple rubber. We couldn't call it red rubber. They were purple. Look, they are now starting to do clear stamps. And I was so excited. I thought, oh, Christmas sentiments and a clear stamp. Yay! And, oh, and they have several of these. Not just for Christmas, but other times of the year. Do you see this? These are A2 card fronts. There's 32 8 sheets of each design. And you just simply cut these apart. And you have got card fronts. Add a small sentiment and you are ready to go. So let's look at these. Look, isn't that gorgeous? Do you see that vivid color? I hope my camera is going to show that okay. And then you have these, and you'll have 4 of those, 2 per sheet. Aren't they precious? Here is this one. Am I holding it to where y'all can see? And they weren't expensive, guys. They just were not expensive. Why did I pick this up since I make my own cards? Well, I picked it up because no matter how well I try to plan every year, there are always a few that want to fall through the cracks, and I'm scrambling to put more together. I don't know if that happens to you guys. It happens to me all the time. So, this year, I am prepared if that happens. All right, I was not sure we are going to be using this in today's project. I bought this, oh, probably 6-7 years ago. I was just getting into card making. And of course, y'all know, because I've told you I've retired from Walmart, so it was a no-brainer to find this and get it. There's 10 sheets, 8.5 by 11. This is older kind of packaging. I did just now go to Walmart's website. It's 110 pounds. They are now putting that on their packaging. And just do a search for glitter cardstock. This will be one of the results that come up. I was very happy to see that, yes, they are still making it. It's nice. It's sturdy. You can run this through a printer. So, and that's actually what it was called, inkjet cardstock. However, I've used it very successfully, and I've already got my card base made 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I have put down a piece of the black 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then this is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is going to be my backdrop on today's card. But I was so excited. I thought, oh my gosh, you know, all those years ago, that is not going to still be available. And I was so excited. It was. Now, it said it came in 2 options. I didn't click to see what the second option was, but a pack of 10 sheets will run you $6.34 before tax. Hopefully, it's at your local Walmart. If you have to order it online, it may or may not cost you, you know, shipping. I don't know. You'll just have to check that out. But anyway, it was a good alternative. So in today's card project, I took some of my accent opaque cardstock, ink blended it with Distress Oxide Salvaged Patina, and did my die cut. I'm using Stampin' Up! Pecan Pie, using Stampin' Up! Calypso Coral, and using Stampin' Up! Poppy Parade. And let me show you what we're doing. I had ordered this a little while back, didn't have a chance to play with it. Isn't that adorable? Simon Hurley recently had a Christmas release, and I'm thinking this might have been the only thing I bought out of his release. Now, he had a wonderful release, and I've got to tell you guys, I was never really into penguins. I mean, yeah, they were cute. Stampin' Up! Had a set a couple of years ago where you had the little punched out the penguin and all that kind of thing. But I want you to look at these dies. You have your black body, okay, which is the largest piece. Then you have the body parts that will cut out your white pieces. You have got a little bow. This actually cuts out a gift. So you have your little gift box, and it cuts out this little piece that goes across the top, and it just gives it a little extra dimension, okay? You've got a little pair of antlers. You have a wreath. You have a sweater with a piece for the neckline, and these 2 little pieces right here are actually going to be going on either side for the little sleeves, okay? And it puts all that texture in there. Can you see all of that? You have got a die that cuts out all 3 little sets of feet all at one time. This little die right here cuts out 3 beaks at one time. Here is 1 hat. Here is another hat. And here are their little cheeks. So it cuts out 6, so 2 for each one. Isn't that adorable? You don't need a stamp set. In fact, I don't think there was a stamp set that came out with this. The other thing I am going to use was something I recently got from Concord 9th. This isn't the only one. Classic Holiday Greetings. It's just the dies. And there is the Merry Christmas, Oh Holy Night, Joy to the World. And these dies are missing because I am using the Peace on Earth on today's card. So those dies have already been took off. I haven't had a chance to put that in a case yet, but I'll get there. Now, because there are so very many pieces, I've started putting some of them together. And I know that kind of looks like a party hat, but I tried to make it look more like a little Christmas hat. And can you see the detail? There's those little cheeks. There's the beak. Here's the feet. And when they cut out, that's what they look like. Just glue it on the back. But aren't they precious? And this one is almost all the way done. This one, the sweater is actually designed for this fella because he's just a little bit wider. He's kind of got that, like, I don't know what's going on look. We all have one of those kind of friends, don't we? Aren't they precious? In my circle, I'm that kind of friend. And I wasn't going to put the little deer antlers on there, but I think we will. Now, I did leave one totally undone, and you're going to watch me fiddle with this as we put him together. One of them, and let me slide that in there if I can. Let me see if I can show this to you. So it actually cuts his little flippers. You see, I don't know how well you can see, that's coming up over my fingernail. I know it's kind of hard to see all that on camera. And when you die cut, you can either pop out where that little bill goes, its little beak, or not. That one stayed in, so I left it in. But just know that's an option. And I felt like by leaving it in, it will actually raise it up just a little bit when we do put that little piece on there. So now y'all kind of get to watch me fiddle and mess around with some of this. And let's go ahead and put the antlers on this one. Now, if I hold this up here, you may be able to kind of see where that's got a little mark. And that's just kind of showing you where to put the glue. So I'm going to take my fine tip glue bottle. By the end of this video, I'm thinking I'm going to have dried glue all over my hands. And try not to get too much. And let me see, I guess that looks about right. So I'm just going to hold that there for just a second. Let's turn him over. I've got a small block. In fact, that block needs a bath. It does. All right, and this little fella here, we need to go ahead and get ready to glue the white part on. It is not hard, guys, to line up the little white body parts with the black. It's not. I had no issues trying to figure out what went with what. And kind of get that up. I gotta get this slid around. There we go. There's that one. There's that one. Is he centered around his little beak? He seems to be. And just going to hold that for a minute. Put that right there. And I did cut another sweater. However, the sweater is for that bigger one, and I just had a real hard time trying to figure out how to line it up. Now you'll notice, but I'm still going to show you this as an example. There are those little pieces for the sleeves. And what I had done is I took some Crystal Stickles, put a little bit around the neckline, just on the very edge of the sleeves, trying to give them a little something, something. On this one, I actually took Stampin' Up's Poppy Parade cardstock, and then I took my Distress Oxide Lumberjack Plaid and just kind of darkened around the edges and left it a little bit lighter in the middle. But I was just having a hard time getting that to line up because he's not as wide as the other guys. So if I get it lined up on that little flipper, it's not lined up on that flipper. If I shove it down, see what's happening? So could I get away with it? Yeah, probably kind of sort of could, and nobody would be any of the wiser. But I thought, nah, we'll just put a hat on him and he's good, so he's done. Let's see here. This should have sat up, but aren't they adorable? All right, let's get ready. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and tackle those tiny little cheeks. So I'm just, now, and again, I don't know how well you can see. There are little indents and shapes to show you exactly where the little cheeks go. Trying to make sure I don't overdo it. Even with a fine tip glue bottle sometimes. And I think I may have enough there. I've moved my big light back to help prevent any glare because I'm using the glass mat. I actually started out using, all right, now where's his other little cheeky piece? I know it's in here. Oh, and by the way, on this die, it does cut out those letters. I didn't want to fool with them. Let me show you how tiny they are. So here's one. There's the C. Here's the T. You see how tiny they are? Guys, I'm sorry. I wasn't about to piecemeal it all back in there. Now I'm looking for his other little cheek. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it. May have to cut another one. In which case, I'm not going to do it on screen with you. I'll just cut it later. But that's odd because they were all in there. I've got a few little extra bits and pieces here as I was going through trying to figure... Oh, there it is. I saw it. It was under the gift. Let me move the gift. There's that little cheek. And let's put that on there. Hopefully that glue didn't dry. And hopefully you can't see my hair because I have got it up in a real rough, and I do mean rough, ponytail. Does not look good at all. Make sure, just kind of sketch that over just a little bit. There we go. So that's on there, and I'm going to lay that in. And let's go ahead. He's going to be carrying this present. I used Stampin' Up! Blueberry Bushel for the gift. Added that extra piece across the top, but I'm not sure how well that dimension might be showing on screen. And then out of a matte silver, I did the little bow and put that on there. So you'll notice in the packaging, there is a wreath. I didn't do the wreath. And I thought, well, I kind of want mine holding the present. Like, you know, I'm getting ready to give this to you. So I'm doing the gift for him. And I think I had made, with that Salvaged Patina Distress ink, I took my white accent opaque cardstock and made the little sweater with that Salvaged Patina ink and made the hat at the same time. Actually, I went ahead and die cut these and then went with a real small blending brush and kind of tried to darken it around the edges and leave it kind of lighter in the middle, a little bit of a difference there. And here is the brim of the hat, again using those stickles that I used. And somewhere I have this little piece that will go on the end of the hat. So I'll go ahead and get some glue put down on there. Oh, these pieces, but I'm loving it. They're so adorable. Obviously, not one that you would want to make just a ton of cards. But if you've got the time, these are adorable. I got to move this so I can see because the glue is white. My mat is white. And I just need to see if I'm... There we go. Got it. I'll put that on there for just a second. And here in a minute, we will go ahead, sorry about that, we will go ahead and put his little brim on his hat. In the meantime, what I can do is get out his little feet. So here are his little feet. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there, just a little dot, a little tiny dot. And then let's just kind of smooth that around. That is plenty. And we'll lay it down. And then pick him up. And try to make sure I've got that lined up fairly well. And I do. There we go. See, if I can do it, honey, anybody can do it. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Okay, let's get ready and nestle the present in his little flippers, his fins. You can tell I'm not very knowledgeable on my little penguins. Not totally. Alright, I'm going to try to get that in there to where Both are showing coming up over that package, and they are. Okay, hold that down. That right there. I've just about decided that I am going to have to keep my small blocks. I was really hoping to be free of them, but let me tell you, they're invaluable for this kind of thing. Let's turn this. That lined up on the brim of his hat. I gotta pick it up, guys, so I don't think I'm where I need to be with it. It kind of slid out of my hands just a little bit. Okay. All right. Love it. And now, to make sure that has good adhesion, we're going to lay that there for a second. And what else am I needing to put together besides getting them on the front of the card with the sentiment? Just his hat. I think that's all that's left. I have some little extra beaks because somehow I lost one, so I had to cut it again. And yeah, he needs his little beak. His little face is naked. So let's get his little beak put on there. And I think I have just enough glue right here on the outside of that nozzle. And we'll get the beak. And when you're putting the beak on, the white, if you can see it, the whitest part is at the bottom, and it gets skinny as it goes up. So let's see if I can get this on here. Well, I think it went on sideways. Poor little thing. He will look funny. Let me kind of sketch it around. Sketch it. It's almost, oh, there we go. There it is. Isn't that adorable? Now, this is not everybody's cup of tea. And for the most part, it is not totally my cup of tea. But every now and then, I think the grandkids really deserve just a little extra, don't you? And there is a little bit of kid in all of us, I think. I know there's a little girl still inside of me, and I can tell you for sure there's a little boy inside of my husband. And I've got a little tiny piece of cardstock right there. Can I get it? I got it. You might not have been able to see it, but I could. All right, and there he is. Isn't he sweet? And I don't know why we always call him he. I mean, is there a difference that you can tell visually from male and female? I don't know. I have no idea. So here we go. And my piece on earth, if I can hold it right, if you see that shimmer that's showing through where the letters cut out, I also used some more of that glitter cardstock from Walmart and just back that on there. And I wanted to use a color that was in with the penguins, but I actually tried it in the red and I didn't like it. So I abandoned that and decided to go with the teal and white. All right, let's see how we can put these little fellas together. And I have an idea before we totally, let's see, how do we, see, I don't even know how I want to put these on here. I'm going to stagger. But here's what I thought I would do with the silly one in the middle. I thought I would make it a boingy card. These are little wobble bits. You can make your own or buy them. Honestly, I don't use them very often. I just go ahead and buy them because I know they're going to last me a good little bit. And I'm going to take off the backing. There is adhesive on both sides of these. If I can get that started. Now, it's been a while. Hopefully, they're not drying up on me. Are they drying up? Ah, here we go. Look at there. I was making it harder than it had to be. That is also another one of my talents. I am constantly making things harder than they have to be. So we're going to line him up right about the middle there. Press that in really well. And maybe I can do the same thing on this side. And maybe I ordered me another Gina K pick and stick. And I gave the other one a toss. There was something not quite right about it. I did take off the wax tip that was on my original one. Let me show you. When you order one, you get an extra one, and they screw in. Isn't that neat? I love that. And I am having good luck with this. I will tell you, the end of this is kind of blunt. So if you're needing something really sharp, either go with Stampin' Up's tool, or I don't know, Sizzix has just a plain pokey tool that has kind of a sharp end. But on this, I think I need something that's got a little bit more of a point. And it may just be that I have not used this enough, but I like it. I like the feel of it. I really love that wax tip. It works so well. The only issue I have with Stampin' Up's using that putty is I have picked things up and that putty will stick to it. And if it's metallic cardstock, that's not a fun thing to have happen because it's so hard to get that off without marring your metallic cardstock. So we're going to take him and place him right about there. Oh, isn't that sweet? That's so sweet. Now, on his hat, you can cut. Let me show you here. And I did cut it, but I ended up putting it on a different hat, and then I didn't use the white hat. There is a die cut that cuts out with that hat that gives you an extra piece to lay on top. I wasn't going to run the die back through. I just put some more of those stickles right there on the top of his little hat. Because that, I mean, it can be a party hat, it can be a Christmas hat, it can be whatever kind of hat you want. Now, here's the thing. Do we want all three of them to be boingy? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to go with what we got here. We're going to glue these little guys down. Make sure I get it across his little legs. Oh, it looks like I have some glue that was starting to dry. Got a string of glue. Okay. We're going to put him in. Right about so. But what child would not love to get this out of the envelope and have this little thing come jumping out to meet them and say hi? I just thought that was so cute. And, of course, you saw I didn't have anything for the inside of my card because I'm not real sure exactly which grandchild may get this and all the things. So, I'll be waiting on that part. Oh, my goodness. Let me hold this up now. Isn't that so sweet? And, of course, when you put him in the envelope, he's going to be covered. Isn't that precious? And you still, even with the really young children, you still kind of want to plant those seeds that Christmas isn't just about gifts and things. It does have a deeper meaning. And when they're really, really young, you know, they can only understand so much at one time. And it's up to us to kind of teach them the rest of it. To be honest, when I was growing up, we did not celebrate Christmas as a religious holiday. The reason was because my parents, in trying to make sure that they understood biblical truth correctly, their opinion was, and you may disagree with this, and that's fine, because in recent years I have started celebrating Christmas as Jesus' birthday, but Scripture never tells us when he was born. And I think all those years ago, it was more black and white than maybe it is today. Not to say that we have freedom to take scripture and make it mean anything we want to. We don't. And as I got older and away from home, I started realizing that for us Christians as a whole, maybe not everyone, we're not celebrating it saying, oh yeah, Jesus was born on December 25th. No, it is just a day that we are taking to celebrate his birth. We're not in any way saying he was born on December 25th. Now, back in the days of my mom and dad, maybe that's what they were saying. I don't know. I can't attest to that. But anyway, I was raised not to celebrate Christmas as a religious holiday, and I was faithful to that for a lot of years. However, I now have the freedom, and it does not bother me if, and his little hat's sticking up. He didn't quite get tacked down there. Let's try that again. Make sure this is right. Make sure it is good. Put a little bit more glue back there, because it is on that glitter cardstock. So I'll lay that right there. But yeah, so don't ever let anybody make you feel guilty if you too are of the persuasion that because Scripture doesn't tell us when he's born, that we, if you don't feel right about celebrating it as a religious holiday, you do you, okay? And don't let anybody put you down for it. But if you're like me, and it's just a day to remember him being brought to us in the form of that sweet, sweet baby, then that's okay too. We're not in any way, shape, or form saying, oh yeah, he was born on December 25th. All right, guys, what do you think about that? Isn't that sweet? That is so cute. And then on the inside, I can put something. I'll put another layer of white cardstock in here, and I will put something that they can gravitate to. In fact, I did think about maybe cutting out that wreath and taking that same die that does the cheeks and doing little red ornaments or whatever and putting them around the wreath. I don't know. I don't know yet. But I just thought this was a precious set. No stamps needed, just the dies. You can pick out your color scheme. You could definitely make a winter birthday card for a kid out of this. Wouldn't that be sweet? All right, now, I did get a few other goodies in that same order, and I did get this one from Concord and Ninth. Jolly Holiday Greeting Dies. I have not opened it. This one has the Deck the Halls, which could have also gone on here. The Merry and Bright, I really like. The Holly, Jolly, and even Happy Holidays. I rarely use that myself, but what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? It is a holiday season, and we are wishing them happy. And if somebody tells me happy holidays, I appreciate it so much. I just don't get all bent out of shape. And then Christina Warner had way more in this new release. Adorable, adorable products. And these are only available for a limited time, by the way. So she teamed up with Concord and Ninth, and if you're not aware of who Christina Warner is, check out her YouTube channel, guys. You will love her. You will fall in love with her. And this can be used on cards as large as 5 by 7. Look. You have your wide ribbon. You have your narrow ribbon. You could also use these dies to cut metallic cardstock to do edging, or like if you wanted to frame something in with some metallic cardstock and not use a whole sheet. You have a 2-layer bow. You don't have to use both layers if you don't want to. Absolutely could fill in the front of a card. How sweet is that? Loved it. So that's all that I bought from her release. Although, like I said, and all of this is available at Concord and Ninth. And I do believe also on scrapbook.com. Now, I have some other things in the wings. I'm not going to drag it out right now. Y'all have been sweet. You've been patient. I hope you enjoy this card. I really do. I hope it gave you extra. I just didn't lay that on there long enough, did I? I need to lay that on there a little bit longer. Is that going to stay down? I think this time it'll stay down. Okay, third time's the charm. But y'all be blessed. I apologize. I was not here last week. I am so sorry. Just can't be everywhere all at once. And people who think that when you retire, your time is your own. Oh, no, it is not. I am finding that I am busier retired than I was when I was working full time. Funny how that works. Anyway, it is time to go and do a little bit of exercise and get some errands run. Y'all have a very blessed weekend. Please know you're loved. God is good all the time. Bye, guys.